Wait, oh, it's recording.
What level of education did you have? Do you have?
Okay. I went through the elementary school and high school and got my high school diploma. Then I have a BS degree and a master's degree and a doctor's degree in industrial education. I did all those at Texas A&M, although for part of my doctoral work I went to the University of Washington in Seattle one summer, and then I went to the Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana for another summer. So I've been to 3 different universities.
What was your favorite subject to study?
I liked them all, really. I did well in English. Probably should have majored in English, but I didn't. And that industrial education was really, I guess, that's what I majored in all those years. That's what I taught at A&M. So I'd say that's my favorite. We were doing a lot of things. We trained people to teach shop in the high schools, and then we started the industrial distribution program to train industrial salesmen to work in industry. And so that's what I did.
Did you have any special interests when you were growing up? Sports, hobbies, crafts, etc.?
Yeah. Yeah. Did I have any special interests and so on? Hobbies? Yeah, I was in what was called the 4-H club. It's still existing. It's for kids that like agriculture. You have to have a project. My project was to raise sheep. So I had a small flock of sheep that I took care of. And 4-H stands for heart, health, hand, and let me think, heart, health, hand, and head, I believe. Anyway, it's still very popular among young people. And then I was in the Boy Scouts, and that was a major interest. And let's see, what did for crafts? Well, I was interested in woodworking, and my major interest though was electronics. I used to build radios when I was in high school. I built small radios and out of parts. And you could hear stations from all over the United States on that little radio. And so I guess my strongest interest was in electronics and building electronic projects and things. And that's what I taught at A&M too. So, trying to think of any other interests that I had. I played trombone in the high school band. And learned the violin and played fiddle.
What kind of games did you play?
We had, I played in high school, I played basketball and football and softball, and then I ran on track and field. We were a small school, so every boy had to get into every sport so we could put a team on the field. Everybody had to participate. And that was lucky. You didn't have to be good, you just had to be there. So if I'd been in a big school, I would never have been able to play basketball or football. I probably wasn't good enough. But that little school, they needed everybody. So I got to play all those sports, and that was a lot of fun.
What was your favorite toy?
Favorite toy? That's been so long I don't remember a favorite toy. But I had some. I know I did. I don't know. I know my brother and I shared a bicycle. And that's, to me, that's interesting that the two of us could share that bicycle and not get into fights over it. But we'd just take turns riding that bike. We only had the one, but so we rode all over the place with the bicycle out in the country.
What did you do for fun? Go to beach, park, movies, zoo, etc.?
Yeah, why did we go for fun? We were about 45 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. So sometimes we would go down to Freeport, Texas, on the beach there. And a lot of times we could go down there on that beach and we would be the only people there. We'd see nobody else. We just had the whole beach to ourselves. Now that same beach looks like a bunch of ants there with all the hundreds of people out there, all the time. And then sometimes we went to Galveston. Galveston was, of course, a big city, and they had an amusement park with Ferris wheels and roller coasters. And so we would go there and go out on the beach and swim in the Gulf.
Did your family ever take trips or go on vacation?
Yeah, we did a lot of that. Every year we just get in the car. We would take, just sleep on the side of the road. You didn't have all these parks then. So we would sleep on the side of the road. We'd have had our little bedrolls. And back then, you didn't have to worry about whether it was safe or not. It was safe. Nobody would bother you. And so we made trips mostly around Texas to different places. And I was trying to think. We had a Model A Ford. It's a pretty primitive car then. And we went in that. And in fact, when I went off to college, I think my dad still had that. Oh, by then he had bought a later model Ford. He had a 1936 Ford, and then he bought a 1941 Ford. And we traveled in all of those. But we would put an ice chest in the trunk to put food in it, to keep our food, cold, and just camp out.
Did you speak any foreign languages?
Well, in high school I took Spanish, and then in college I took German. And then while I was teaching at A&M, I had a lot of tutoring in Spanish because we went to the Dominican Republic and worked down there for a little while, and we needed to learn Spanish. So I learned Spanish and some German. Mm-hmm.
Did you have family reunions?
Family with what?
Reunions.
Yeah, oh yeah, every year. We had two. My mother's side, her family were the Waddell families and Whites, and my dad's were the Boones and Dunscombs. So we had two separate reunions every summer, and you got to see a lot of the aunts and uncles and grandparents and so on, and that we did that for quite a few years, and finally most of the older folks died, and we just quit having it. The younger people just couldn't get off and come to the reunion. So.